Hello, my name is Stefan, this is Crabtree Tactics Devlog number 3, and today I'm doing things a little bit differently. See, I've been thinking that I have talked a lot about the different systems and things in the game and how I made them, but I never actually showed the gameplay. So this video is going to address that in this manner. So what we'll do today is I'll play the game, I'll talk about the stuff that I implemented both this week and previously, and also last week I mentioned that I will talk about the progression and balancing of the game, and there will be a lot of that today. So without further ado, let's get into it. So, setting the rate here, who would I select for this run? I'll go with this one. And by the way, I've implemented this little window with a cheat sheet of what each of the parameters do, so I won't need to explain this in the video. And by the way, each unit, each grab, also have kind of a character, you would say, which affects what stats are leveled up. You can see it here too. And with that in mind, I'm taking this one, because he got threat generation, he's a good tank, and he got 3 points in Valor, which means he will increase threat generation with each level up, at least he'll have a chance to. And he has a wide ability, which is a slash. I'm taking another ranged AoE unit, which is Airy, and I'll also take a healer in the third slot, because, well, why not? Healers are important, as you know. So, let's get into it. First level should be fairly easy. A couple of squads of enemies. Placing this guy here to kind of affect this bunch. And as you see, when this guy attacks, enemies tend to turn their attention to him. Healers are there to help him restore his health. This guy. Actually, let's move here a little bit. Oh, new totem. By the way, this is one of the things I did last week. A new arena event that heals the crabs if you get close. Helps a lot. I actually did a run without a healer to test this out, and it worked out pretty well. So for the upgrades, as you see, enemies drop little shiny things here that are experience, but crabs are greedy, right? So I reflavored it as loot, and they're gathering loot, and in this loot sometimes they find interesting bonuses, which are this time. This is a choice of 3 on a level up. I'll go with Angler's Bait to increase threat generation for this one, so he'll be better at tanking. And also, yeah, Hidden Hammer, it's gonna be good for his attack, so he'll be more useful. For this guy, I'll choose attack, and for a healer, yeah, Repulsive Ink, you see, this decreases threat generation, so she can safely heal the tank, and this will generate less threat than his abilities, so this will be more safe for her. So this here is done, getting the reward for the encounter, and there are a bunch of options as well. So generally it offers a trinket to buff one of the stats, but here this is a part of elemental attunement system I haven't talked much about, but each ability has an elemental version. So this one does multiple hits, so let's go with that. Looks different, feels different. And next room gives us a morale reward, which will allow crabs to restore if they are down during the battle. This is pretty safe. Oh, another arena event I added, which is defense buffing totem for enemies. You could see that they were highlighted, and while enemies are affected, their defense increases, and this bonus kind of gets higher with next levels. Yeah, with the progression through levels. So it gets more and more important to get rid of it as soon as possible. Enemies are still pretty weak here, so it's not much of a problem. Yeah, see, this guy tried to destroy the totem because the totem was healing someone he attacked. This is another part of the tanking mechanics and threat generation system. So for our tank, repulsive ink is not something we need. Cure wounds, probably not. We have one healer already. Solution found. Yeah, I'll go with this one. For this guy, he's a ranged caster. Let's increase his area of attack. And for a healer, yeah, she doesn't need a stab. Let's make it faster. Increasing morale, and going for the next reward, which is going to be related to a sand element. So this will be a trinket related to a sand element. The only ability I have elemental attunements for so far is the slash ability, so others won't have attunements available to them yet, but I'm actually planning to do this week. Well, at least add some of them. I probably will go with a piercing attack first, and then go to another attacking ability and then healing ability. So ranged units are starting to appear. Not much of a challenge yet, although it takes kind of long to... takes kind of long to destroy those waves. Grabbing a couple of upgrades here. Let's go with this one. Oh, this is a melee unit, so pincer stab sounds like a good idea. Or defense. He has a lot of valor, he can level up defense, so let's go with this one. For a healer, all sense of time, good. Cooldowns, always useful. Then again, there's no soundtrack yet, but I'm working on it. I can't announce everything yet, but I'm working on it. There's work being done. Yeah, let's go with the Athena's gift. Which one do I select? Oh, let's go with this one. This reward gives a bunch of loot to grabs, helps to level up. There's nothing specific elemental related I need so far, so this sounds like a good option. Which number it is, by the way, I don't know. I don't remember. Bigger enemies should start appearing soon enough. Oh, bombardment. Good that I went out of the earlier. Another stab. Waiting for this to complete, and then level finishes. Yes, it does. No new waves. Throw bone sounds like a good fit for a ranged unit. And increasing the attack for a healer is actually useful, because healing ability is based off attack too. So this is basically the power for all of the abilities. Oh yeah, by the way, I implemented this little window here, sounds useful. I didn't have this before. So the way this reward works, it either gives all the shinies that are packed there to one unit, leading to him level up often, or it just splits between all of them using this loot share parameter, which is a separate thing to talk about. See, when they pick up those little shiny things, they actually split the loot between everyone, but in a kind of tricky way. So the first unit who picks this up, he always takes his share, the percentage, and it keeps it to himself. And everything else is split between all other units that are in the squad, based on their shares as well. This is kind of a tricky system, right? But it was done to always have a split and share the loot between them, because they have to progress as a squad. There shouldn't be one that always gets everything by default, because in the most cases it will be a tank, it will be the melee unit that is on front lines, because he's just closer to everything else. And yeah, this is a way to share it, and also to kind of highlight that everyone is greedy, and this is another thing to manage. For some of them which have pause menu, another thing implemented by the way. For those who have high greed stat, loot share will increase, will have a chance of increasing with every level. Those are surprisingly ungreedy, but still, it will have a chance to increase, which may lead to him taking all the reward to himself, and this is another thing I expect players to manage. I don't know how fun it's gonna be to play, that's why I need feedback, and that's why I am going to work on the build that I can show everyone soon enough. At least, like, this is a small demo, so... What should I take for healer as a... I'll go with Smite, she doesn't need more damage, melee abilities. So this one... Yeah, so this offers to exchange one of the trinkets they have for another one, based on the elements those trinkets are linked to. I'll just use this option to not risk losing anything he picked up so far. Like the bigger enemies. Tank's not doing his job, it seems. Probably because this guy damages a lot. Oh yeah, he has this single target ranged ability which deals a lot of damage. Regeneration is one thing, but it is actually based on the damage that is dealt, so... Oh, I gotta go. I gotta go. I actually need this totem. Tank seems fine, he has a lot of defense, but those two... I'll need to level up regeneration for a tank. Let's try this totem here. This guy runs around trying to heal someone, but there's no targets while this was far away. Yeah, need to get rid of a totem. So it's starting to get interesting. More damage or more threat. I'll go with regeneration. Those guys are good in the backlines, and it's good to cover them, since this one is pretty defensive. All three squads. Started to take a little bit of damage here. Actually, I rebalanced the progression a little bit prior to this playtest. I might need to kind of up the difficulty on the earlier levels a little bit. Although, actually, you know what, I'll refrain from that until I get your feedback on it. Yeah, not much of those events so far. Another thing that has been brought up to my attention is those loot pickups. They get magneted at the end of the level, so there's no much need to pick them up in the middle of the fight. Unless, of course, you're in a tough situation and you need a level up that can turn the tide of battle. So I have one thing in mind, which was actually, funny enough, proposed by my wife. I would like to have an arena event that would trigger when there's a lot of loot dropped on the field. That there will be some loot goblins, I don't know, slimes, whatever. Kind of like the pilfers from how do you call this game? Undermine. Like pilfers from Undermine. They would just grab loot and live unless you attack them. So you have to manage that. You have to pick up the loot before it gets stolen. This here done. More threat generation here. More attack on our healer. Actually, yeah, cooldowns. Let's increase this one. Yeah, another thing that I have on my backlog right now is to have, like, this is not useful, right? This is not actually a choice. So if the room has multiple doors that lead out of it, all of them has to have separate reward. So this is something I'll need to address. So we can check out how good it works right now, and see, they do not chase my healer or my ranged unit while these tanks attack them, which means threat generation is finally starting to kick in. Yeah, see? He kind of triggered, but then with each hit the threat generation was enough to lure them back in. Get rid of the totem first and then get rid of the healers. No, I did it exactly in reverse. Okay. Totem starts to get pretty tough to destroy. Yeah, I'll just up the damage. What is good here? Let's go with this one. Yeah, let's give our healer a little bit of heal itself from the totem and dodge all those explosions. Yeah, I'll go with this one actually. Or is it this one? Yeah, this one. Wave number 9, starting from the next wave, things gonna get a little bit harder. All the bells that I've stepped up now. Hey, get me from my healer. Oops, 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 okay. Got a bit carried away here. No, wait. Let's go. We're safer now. Those two. How many squads are there left? Oh, 2 more. Okay. Okay. Oh. Retreat. There's a tank for that. Just in the back line. Another thing I have in mind is adding some movement to the ranged units, because being static like that is actually not much fun. It's much more fun and admittedly much more annoying if they move around like those healers. But hey, it's a problem to solve. Both for you and me, it seems. I thought I was stopped by my... No, it's fine. Thought I might have misbalanced it for a second. This sounds fine. Those guys are getting pretty strong. No, don't attack those. Don't attack those. And threat generation is just a tip of the iceberg for the tanking mechanics, because there should be a hard taunt as a separate ability that might not have a lot of damage on it, but it overrides everything and drags attention to the grab that used it. I think this is this is going to be one of the things I implement soon enough. I mean, it's needed, right? It's what... Actually, it's what you rely on in any MMORPG raid, as far as I remember. Oh, that was so long ago. Actually, yeah, the first time this idea came to me was, what, 9 years ago? Can you believe it? This is starting to get... messed up my hotkeys. Starting to get a little bit harder, and get those guys off there. It's actually weird to kind of work on all those things and get the game to a stage like that without interacting with with players much. I did ask a couple of my friends to play the game, and I got some feedback, but obviously at this stage I will need much more. So if you're looking at this, there's a mail. If you're watching this, there's a mailing list linked in the description, which you can subscribe to, and before this game goes as a free demo on itch or Steam, you might get a chance to play it, and your feedback will be most important to make this game much better and make it what you and I want it to be, right? Room number 20, what the hell? There's a lot. It starts being pretty chaotic. Oh, hell. No, the healer. No. No. Good job, tank. It's starting to look like the raid I had in my days. Encounter number 22, what the hell? Okay, so at this point the run continues for almost 40 minutes, actually a little more than that. So by this point I probably already montaged a bunch of scenes from this, but this is interesting because as I said, I rebalanced the encounters a little bit before that. And they used to be much more challenging, but to a point where you kind of can't withstand it, you can't solve the problem the game throws at you. And at this stage, it seems like it certainly takes some time to complete an encounter, but there's also... what the hell? Get out. There's also a way to kind of counter everything thrown at you, to an extent at least, I guess. This is getting bad. Okay. But yeah, I mean, this is challenging, obviously. To some rooms, are a little bit longer than what I wanted them to be, but this is there is still a challenge, because previous iterations that I had, there were like two different situations. Either it was too easy and new loot pickups, nice. Starting to get somewhere. Either it was too easy, with enemies just dying too fast, or it was too hard and you were like too overwhelmed too early on. Right now the run continues, as I said, for 40 minutes, and while I lost some morale here, I was able to complete that encounter, and as you've seen, this was probably my own bad behavior here, because this could be played better if I reacted to the totems and to different events and did proper positioning instead of just talking to you all the time. But hey, this is definitely the best balance I had so far, at least. At this point I'll probably skip to the moment where the raid inevitably dies in one of the next rooms. Shouldn't take long, actually. Room number 33. Okay. Imagine sitting there for an hour, generating gameplay footage with your face on it. Oh, this might be the one. This might be the one. This might be the one. Okay. Down to one morale. They're fast. It's a tournament. Like this. Oh, no. Oh, I don't have a healer anymore. Yeah, at this stage it will probably be pretty quick. I don't know how much I can survive off totems with this point. Although they're doing a decent job healing me. Oh, what? She's back? Okay. This hasn't happened to me before, actually. Which is a good sign, you know, because, well, yeah, there's a bug, but previously, if there was if somebody died at 0 morale, this mostly led to all the squad being destroyed. Right now, I lost one squad mate, but was still able to survive, which means this is starting to get somewhere. But obviously she shouldn't be there. It might take some time. It might take some freaking time. Okay, at this point I'm starting to suspect that there is something wrong with the amount of experience they receive. Especially the amount of experience they receive from the encounter rewards in the end. Because they're like... this is a room, I don't know, 40, but they're on 60th level and they still get 1-2 levels straight from each reward. From my calculations it shouldn't be that much, it shouldn't be more than 1, and it should assume the crab is on the same level as the room number, and he's like twice as much, but he still gets level up regularly. So I will probably need to verify my calculations there. Yep, it's turning into a murder fest. Okay. Yeah, at this point he gets Like, the amount of experience from them is scaled, so he gets multiple levels per encounter, and the enemies only get like one small improvement with each room, so he will probably just outscale them at this point. Okay, this thing was pretty insightful. So this is where it has to stop at this point. But I'm doing those things regularly while I'm developing the game. There's a bunch of playtests. Rarely they take this much because it is like one of the longest yet. I haven't been able to balance the game to be able to play to maintain the level of challenge for that much. As I said previously, it either gets too easy or too hard too early on. Right now, for the hour that I've been spending here, this sounds like much closer to what I envisioned, and I will continue to iterate, and hopefully soon enough you'll be able to judge it yourself. So if you're watching this, let me know what you think. You can like, subscribe, or leave me a comment that you didn't like something so I can make it better the next time. Thanks for watching, thanks for supporting the game, see you in the next one.